What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? It's your big partner, me, Cartoon One from that East Side Avalon gang, the village storyteller, man. I'm back at y'all again, man. This is a story, man, I've been trying to give y'all for about, about 2-3 weeks to a month. I've been trying to figure it out and how to put it ever since when I came back. What was that, last month? About 3 weeks ago, a month ago, when I came back from LA. I had an incident while I was there. And the incident was profound. It was real profound to me. And I wanted to speak on it earlier, but I didn't know if, I was in the crosswords because I didn't know if it was going to paint me in a bad light. I didn't know if it was going to, monsterize me, or I didn't know if it was something I should have spoke on, or, I just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been one that's hard up for content to speak on any and everything that come across my mind. Cause you know what I'm saying? I'd have been through so much in my life, man, that, it's just gonna come. But man, this is some real world, real life stuff that hit me the last time I was in LA, man. And, it just tripped me out. It tripped me out. But anyway, I'm gonna give it to you. Man. This is, as you could tell from the title, this is about a young lady that I ran into when I was in LA last time. And she told me about myself. And she told me I changed her life. But anyway, I'm gonna speak on it. When I was in LA this last time, I was out there, about 10 days, 2 weeks. Anyway, I went to one of my partner's house, man, and he had asked me to come over, and you know what I'm saying, they was cooking, his wife was cooking, and they was doing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? They was doing some stuff. It was a lot of people there, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to introduce me to some of his people. Now, it just so happened that the dude I'm talking about, he wasn't gang affiliated. He wasn't into nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I had been knowing him for years. I had met him back in the 90s when I got out. And we had been cool. So now when he found out I was back in LA, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, well, Tune, fall through, homie, man, I'm got, we cooking, we doing this and that. I'm having some people over here. I said, cool. So I fell through. I came through. And, it was a house full of people. It was a house full of people, y'all, house full of people. So anyway, we talking, you know what I'm saying? Now, like I say, I don't drink or I don't smoke cigarettes, weed, none of that. I don't do it. But now, if other people do it, it don't bother me. That's, it's on y'all. But now I will drink that old English. So anyway, you know what I'm saying, man? It's so many. It's a lot of females here. A few dudes, and they got the spade game going, and they just doing. They just dominoes, the music playing, all that. I'm like, okay, well, cool. So we at the spade table. It was me, because they was talking Cash Money Doodle. Well, we could play. Well, so, a female asked me, can I play? I said, yeah, I know how to play. I say, shoot, I play anything with some cards. I can do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. Come on, you going to be my partner. I said, cool, I'll be your partner. Sit down to be your partner. Now, we playing against 2 other females. So we talk, we playing spades, we talking. And the young lady to the left, you know what I'm saying? She was friendly, you know what I'm saying? She don't seem like it was nothing there. So, but anyway, we go to talking about YouTube and stuff. And I was, my partner mentioned, like, yeah, man, my partner too, man, he do YouTube, man. And he got a station and this, that, and the other, and da. So the lady sitting to my left, she said, I watch your station. I'm like, you do? She said, yeah. She said, I watch your station a lot. All the time. She said, I watch most of your videos and boom, boom, boom. I'm like, well, that's what's up. I'm like, you a member of the foundation? And she like, well, no, I'm not a member, but I watch your stuff. So, Me, I'm jovial. Oh, so you low riding, you stealing, and she like, no, I just like to hear some of the stuff you talk about. I'm like, okay. So as time went on, this where we stepped off into the twilight zone, y'all. The lady said to me, she said, you don't know me, do you? I said, not that I know of. Should I know you? She said, no, you probably wouldn't remember me. I said, well, look, refresh my memory, you know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't really no bad-looking female, you know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, had I had some type of secret rendezvous with her from back in my past or what? I don't know. So she was like, she said, I'm going to tell you something. You ain't going to believe this. She said, you changed my life. I'm like, what do you mean I changed your life? She said, I said, through my videos, through my, the foundation. She said, no, you changed my life from an incident that happened back in the 1980s. I said, did I? I said, I ain't never, did we used to go together? We had some type of, she said, no. She said, I used to be from Villain. I said, oh, for real? I said, you still from Villain? She said, no, I don't gangbang. She said, no. That's where the part comes in where I say you changed my life. I'm like, oh, really? What happened? She said, one night, I was walking home and it was late. She said, and a car hit the corner. And a dude was hanging out the window with a gun. And it was a dude out the back window with a gun. And I don't know, and one dude driving. I said, okay. I said, shoot, well, you know what? She said, yeah. She said, I had a red bandana in my pocket. And, she said, I was young. She said at the time, she was numbered about 12 or 13. I'm like, oh, for real? So what happened? She said, you got out the car. I said, what? She said, yeah, you got out the car and ran up on me. She said, I'm like, why you didn't run? She said, I was froze. I couldn't. She said, when y'all first drove up and y'all drew down, she said, I went into shock. I went into panic. I couldn't go nowhere. She said, you got out the car and you walked up on me. And you were saying like, man, I'm finna kill you, you little B.I.T. I called her the disrespectful term that we used to use back then for the Bloods. And I called her B-I-T-C-H. I used to cuss back then. You little whoop, 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 whoop. You finna die tonight. And I got a heat on her. She says somebody from in the car, which I know at that time it couldn't have been nobody but Crazy Ray. In fact, it was him, because I know the incident she talking about. Ray was hollering, cuz, man, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I'm like, man, F that, man. Man, I'm finna kill this little B. Now, before y'all judge me, before y'all go into this, man, Toon, man, you a whoop. It's 2023. It's 2023. I'm telling y'all about an incident that happened in the 1980s. I was a total different person back then. I told y'all I was a runaway train. I didn't care nothing about no one if you wasn't from Avalon. 8 to 80, blind, crippling, crazy. And listen to me when I say 8 to 80, blind, crippling, crazy, got it. I didn't give a dang. If you was an enemigo, it didn't make me no difference who or what you were. Down goes Frazier when I was on them streets. LA changed, man. LA became very, very ruthless back then. It was a lot of stuff that took place that changed the mindset of a lot of people from back then. Like when, for perfect example, when Joker killed Mumbles, when Joker from A-Tray Gangster killed Mumbles from 6-0, boom, and then the 6-0s came back and ended up killing Mumbles' mother and little brother at the house. That sent a shockwave through the streets of Los Angeles. That changed. Gang banging, from that incident alone, gang banging took a flip. Bow. Because there was a lot of people that stood that stepped back and said, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, that's how they doing it? Oh, is that the next level? And it's a lot of people, you know, when I say LA, Compton, Watts, Inglewood, you know, all over LA. Y'all know I call LA, LA. But there's a lot of people like, shoot, man, if that's how they doing it, we gonna do it like that too. You know what I'm saying? Dudes had to elevate their game. Sets did not want to be outdone by other sets, so they start, you know what I'm saying, dudes with that mad dog mentality up the level of the game, and they start going too. If y'all remember back then, the mindset was, okay, if we after you, we don't have to get you no more. We looking for your mama. We looking for your grandparents, you know, your daddy, your sisters, bro. Everything was open game. In the 1980s, that's when the gang banging flipped to that. That's when stuff got real ruthless and dangerous. It flipped to that. Dudes was going at, when finding out where you live, and they was going after your grandparents or your parents on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Knocking at the door. Whoever answered the door, that's who got it. Knowing how bad it was going to hurt you. Everybody in LA, well, not everybody, but everybody who was into that, they upped the level of they banging. And they got real treacherous and real ruthless. Real treacherous and real ruthless, man. Dudes learned. They learned. Life started meaning nothing. They learned how to just shut their emotions off and just go for the gusto. And I was one of them. My emotions meant anything. At one time, I remember at a psych evaluation, I didn't know what it was at the time, but the psych said, psychiatrist told me, said, man, you a sociopath. And I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm like, man, what is a sociopath? And for years and years and years, I didn't really know what he meant until later on, I looked up the meaning of a sociopath. And at that time, it fitted me to the T. It doesn't fit me no more. But back then, in my mad dog days, it fitted me. Like I said, life meant nothing to me. I had no respect of it. And so back to this situation. I remember when I got out the car and I drew down. Now, I'm not going to lie. I had every intention at that time of taking this little girl's life simply because of a color of a piece of cloth she had in her pocket. And she was off the other side. She was one of my main enemies at that time. It didn't make me no difference that she wasn't nothing but 13 or 14 or whatever. She was a girl. You know, I could care less. All I knew was I was finna score me some points on my enemies. So like I say, you know, at the time, Ray was hollering, cuz, don't do it, man. Come on, homie. Man, let her go, cuz, let her go, let her go. So I'm like, no, cuz, man, I'm finna kill this bee. Homie, she finna go. You know what I'm saying? She a whoop, whoop, whoop. All of them got to go. Cuz if we let her go, she gonna have some babies by one of them, and then babies gonna grow up to get her little homies more problems, cuz we need to go and exterminate them now. So the homie like, cuz, man, come on, homie, Toom, don't do that. I wasn't listening. But now, as I drew down, I felt something. Tell me, don't do it. Don't do this one. Don't do this one. Don't do this one. And I looked at the little girl, and her hands was up, and she was trembling. She was shaking and trembling, man. And she was crying big water ball tears, saying, please, please, please don't do this. Please don't kill me. She was calling me sir. Now, you know, for those that's, you know what I'm saying, and from my age group, from OGs from back in the day, y'all know you couldn't call no Crip no sir from back then. You know what I'm saying? Bloods came up under the term sir, and Crips came up under the term mister. That's how that thing was back then. Now, it's a lot of y'all out there in TV land, or even in other young bangers, or, you know, y'all don't know nothing about all that. That's some OG stuff right there. But she was like, sir, man, please don't kill me, sir, please. So I'm like, man, you little B, don't call me no sir. Call me mister. And boom, when I put it up on her, that's when it was like, man, some was telling me, don't do it. Let this go. Don't do this. So I'm looking at her, and every intention in me, man, was to pull that trigger. But I listened to the voice. I listened to the voice. Now y'all remember a story I told you before when I went to rob the Mexican lady and the Mexican dude in the parking lot, and when I drew down on the dude had a Bible in his hand, and he looked at me and told me, he said, man, Jesus love you. And I drew it. I'm like, fool, what? He was like, man, Jesus love you. And I told you I heard a voice in my head tell me, if you rob these people, you won't live to see the end of the week. And I told you, remember I told you I gave the lady back her purse. I backed up off him, told my homeboy, cuz, get in the car, let's go. You know? So, yeah, that's in my old video. Some of my old videos, y'all got to go track it down. But anyway, I looked at her, I said, you know what, you little B? You know what I'm saying? Said my name, said my set, because back then, things was different. You can go shoot up a whole crowd of people and holler out your name, your set, and all that. And I used to do that a lot back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in that build my reputation mode. I wanted to build my reputation. I wanted fools to hear my name and tremble in fear from the name Cartoon from Fire Trey Avalon. You know? And I said, you little B, I'm Cartoon. I said, I'm from Fire Trey Avalon, Gangsta Crip, original South Park boy, East Side. I said, I want to kill you, but I'm not. And I got back in the car. So the homie Ray was looking at me. He was like, cuz, man, you crazy, Tune, man. What? He was like, man, big homie, cuz, he say, man, you got to, man, cuz, what you gonna kill a Tune? Cuz, what you gonna do that? And I was like, yeah, homie. He was like, why you didn't? I said, cuz, some told me not to. I just left it at that. I'm not going to say what year in the 1980s this happened. Fast forward. All the way from then, fast forward all the way to 2023. Here it is. I got this girl sitting across from me at the table, playing spades. Grown woman. She a grown woman, And she had some kids running around. Because I remember she kept telling her kids, y'all go sit down. Y'all go in the back and play. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And here it is. She telling me what I did. But she also telling me that I changed her life. So, I felt a certain type way about it. But, hey, when she was talking to me about it, now, when I say a certain type of way, it's like I felt a little bad about it. I'm like, oh, man, because the person she was talking about no longer existed. You know what I'm saying? He gone. So she was telling me, she was like, that night changed my life. I'm like, for real? I'm like, how did it change your life? From that night right there, when she finally made it home, she got rid of the bandanas and she stopped gangbanging. She went on and went to school and got her nurse's license, as for time. She told me she ended up getting her nurse's license. She was a registered nurse at the time I was talking to her in 2023 and had been one for years. You know what I'm saying? Had been one for years. You know what I'm saying? But she told me because of that incident right there, she said she seen her life flash in front of her eyes. And so she's like, she let everything go. She let it all go. She said she went to school, eventually ended up moving off the east side and got her life together. behind that incident right there. So I'm like, dang. So, I tried to turn it into a joke. So I'm like, dang, homegirl, you sure that was me? She said, it was you. She said, you cartoon from Fire Train. I'm like, yeah. She said, it was you. She said, it was you. So, me being the dude that I am, I apologized to her. I said, baby girl, listen. I'm sorry for what happened that night. I said, the person that was running around them streets back then, I say, I'm not him no more. I said, I'm not that type of gangbanger no more. I said, yeah, I represent my set. You know what I'm saying? I still claim my set. Yeah, I do represent, Avalon. I said, but now I don't do the things today that I was doing back then. She was like, well, no, you ain't got to apologize. You know what I'm saying? She just, I just was telling you about it. She said, I was thinking about telling you about an hour ago. She said, I didn't know how to bring it up. I'm like, okay. And, we end up, we talked about it a little bit more. Then we end up, sweeping it under the rug and moving on. So, the dude that was over there with me, she was real cool with him. That's because she was there. She was cool with him and his wife. And, to him it was a joke. I mean, Tune, you crazy, man. You wild, man. You crazy, man. Boy, you wild back then, huh? I'm like, yeah, homie, I was a little bit off the chain back then. But, I remembered the incident. And so, like I say, I fought with myself for the last couple of weeks. I'm like, man, should I, for what reason I was hesitant about telling the story, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, no one was physically hurt at that time, Now, she might have went through some emotional drama, but I don't know. So finally I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and tell that story. I'm gonna go ahead and, tell that story about the foundation, man. But now, I make no qualms and I make no excuses on the person that I was back then. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, that person back then, hey, wasn't none hey, was out there. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them ones that if I found out where you was holding a funeral at, your homeboy funeral, I was coming through. Didn't give a dang what got hit up in the church house. Tearing it down. All that. Just wild, homie, just wild. That devil was riding my back then, y'all. That devil was riding me hard. He wanted to destroy me. But by the grace of God, he couldn't get me. He couldn't get me. But the big homie upstairs, God stepped in and say, no, you can't have this one. I got something for him. I got something I need for him to do. So I'm not going to let you have him. I'm going to let you lock him up. Oh, yeah, I'm going to let you lock him up for a long time. But I'm going to bring him back. And that's what he did. He brought me back, y'all. He brought me back. And to that lady out there, you know what I'm saying? I apologize again, And even though I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I changed your life. Blah, blah, blah. I changed your life on an accident, you know what I'm saying? Because that whole situation could have went a whole different way. I'm just glad it didn't. And I'm glad, you know what I'm saying, you made it in life and you thriving and you doing your thing. And I'm glad I'm making it in life and I'm thriving and I'm doing my thing. And I'm not in the job of hurting people no more or none of that. But yeah, that's one of them stories, man. That's one of them stories, man, that happened from a past, some wild stuff, and you know what I'm saying? I'll let you in, Foundation. I'll let you in to hear that one. But yeah, it's me, your big partner, man, Cartoon One from Eastside Avalon, man, the village storyteller. I represent the gangsters. I'm out.